Okay, so let me quickly recap what exactly we have done, and then we'll start with the new topic. So in the last session, we tried to create a material master. I think we were able to create. We have seen various different settings related to material master. So if I go to MM03, yeah, this is the material, raw material that we created. Okay, under this plant and this storage location. Right, so this is what we created, and we were trying to see the field status. We already seen how to create the new material groups. We have also seen how to create a new purchasing groups and all. What we were trying to do is the field status group, right? How to control which field is mandatory, which field is optional. Okay, so for example, let's try to create a new GL account, completely new GL account. So if I go to, sorry, new material account, not GL. Let's try to create a new material. We already created a raw material. Now let's assume I want to create another raw material, which is just the maybe the color. Okay, so apart from the alcohol, in order to manufacture the sanitizer, the material that we are going to consider as the finished product, let's say we want to have a color in the sanitizer. So what I'll do is I'll go to material type ROH, which is against the raw material. Let's press enter. Industry sector is a mandatory field, so I'm just entering any industry, let's say chemical industry. Okay, and these are the things which I already selected in the last session. So basic data 1, 2, purchasing, because I want to purchase this material from outside. Okay, storage, how I'm going to store this material in my stock. Okay, and let's press enter. So my plant is RC01 and storage location that I use is S001. Let's continue. Okay, you can see now some of the fields are mandatory here. You can see the description, unit of measurement, material group, while the other fields like old material number, there are a lot of other fields, valid from, these are all optional fields. So how can I tell the system which field I want to keep it mandatory and which field I want to keep it optional? Okay, so let's say I want to tell the system this material group, I don't want it to be the mandatory field. I want to make this field as optional field. Okay, so in order to do this, first of all, I need to know the technical name of this particular field. Okay, what is the technical name? Technical name means if you just do F1, okay, if you just do F1 on this particular field, okay, you have to bring your cursor in this field. F1, or maybe in your PC it can be function F1, you have to check which one is working. Okay, ultimately you need to go to help. F1 is nothing but help. In this one, you will click on this technical information. Okay, and you will be able to see the field name here, MATKL. MATKL is a field name. Now, we want to check whether this field is made as mandatory from the configuration, and if yes, we want to make it optional. Okay, so in order to make this field optional, first of all, I need the technical name, which is MATKL. And using this field, what I can do now is I can go to SPRO. Okay, IMG. So all the material related settings are done in Logistics General. I'll go to Logistics General, Material Master, Field Selection. You can see there is a separate folder for field selection. Assign the fields to the field selection groups. Okay, let me open this and let's search for the field which is MATKL. So either you can scroll down like this or you can just search from here also. Okay, so I'm doing this MATKL. Okay, even if you do Control F, or Control F will not work here. Let's do this field name. No, just give me a minute. Position in the field name. So it is MATKL. If it is not coming like this, normally for material information, you also need to check the table name. I'll show you what exactly I mean. So again, go to function F1. So you can see this field name is MATKL and table name is MARA, MARA. This MARA is a very critical table in SAP which stores the material level information. So MARA table, under the MARA table, MATKL is what we want to check. If you see here, the field groups, these are available as first characters. You can see here, this first few characters are table, dash, and next few characters are the fields. So if I want to find a particular field, I can write MARA dash MATKL. Okay, exactly, material group. So you can see this material group is available under the selection group 2. This is important because we need to understand which selection group. This MATKL is part of selection group 2. If you want to open this, it will open the material selection 2, field selection group, you can see 2, which is related to the material group. And here you can see some of the, based on the field reference, for some of the fields it is optional and for some of the groups it is mandatory. So if you come down, okay, currently what we are using, I think FERT, oh sorry, ROH. So if I go for ROH, see here, I'm just moving this down, so I'm trying to find ROH. You can see for some of the field groups, it is display. Display means it will not allow you to change. It will be in the display mode. You can see for ROH, it is required field. Okay, for ROH, you can see this is a required field. So what we want is, we want to make it as optional. Okay, let's try to save it. Just press enter. If you are getting this warning message, just press enter. Okay, now if you try to go to material master once again, okay, I need to refresh this. I cannot use the same screen again. I have to go out of this screen and I have to enter transaction MM01 once again. Just give me a minute, system got stuck. Okay, so /n MM01. Again, I'll enter the same material, enter, enter. It is still showing as mandatory field. So what I need to check is number one, is this saved? Let's go back. Let's go back completely, and also let's verify the basic settings and the material types, attributes for material types. So for material type ROH, you can see field reference is ROH. So it should be changed actually. Just give me a minute. Let me try to log off and log in once again. Okay, MM01, color industry sector. I'm going with chemical. Material type is ROH. Enter. Enter. Another enter. It is still showing as mandatory field. So there is something more which we need to see in the configuration. One option is whatever we have done. Let's see if there is any other setting also at the industry sector or at the plant level. So let's go to logistics general once again. Material master. field selection. First one is assign the fields to the field selection. So our field is Mara dash MAT. What is that? You remember?
MATKL.
MATKL, yes. So MATKL. And if I go to group from here, material group, and within this, I need to go to ROH, which is optional. From here, this is fine. So by field reference, and then let's see by field selection. This is not required. So this should be, let's see the other configurations. So this is number one. Number two is maintain the field selection for data screens. This is exactly same. If you see the field status group, what is our field status group? It was 2, right? If you go to field status group 2, here you would be able to see, no, just 1 minute. What was our group in the last configuration? We need to note down this so that we don't forget it. So MATNR slash, sorry, MARA slash MATKL. It is 2 only. Selection group is 2. Let's go to field selection group. Just 1 minute. Field selection group 2. MATKL. Enter. And here in ROH, it is taking me to the same screen. Okay, so for ROH, we already maintained as optional. Selection group 2 is optional. Let's go and see the other settings. Let's see the industry sector wise. So industry sector wise, field reference is C. Let's go and see at the C level also. No, there is something wrong. So let me check this, otherwise it will create a confusion for you. Let me check this and come back to you. But in short, from this field selection, you can control which fields you want to keep it as optional, which fields you want to make it mandatory. So there are 4 options. You can make it optional, you can make it mandatory, you can make it display, or you can even suppress also. Suppress means that field will completely go away from here. It will not ask you the information to be filled in this field at all. Right? So just remember that it is possible to control the field status for any particular field in the material master. Okay, apart from this, any other questions on the material master? There are a lot of other things which we will see as per the tabs. Okay, so as of now, we just discussed the basics. For example, we discussed the fields related to basic data 1, basic data 2, purchasing, and few more. We have still not discussed any fields related to sales. So that will come when we will try to do the later on transactions. For example, when we do the purchasing cycle, we can again come here. We will see what are the mandatory fields from the purchasing point of view, which field will make what impact when you do the purchasing cycle. Okay, so that particular end to end we will see when we'll do the transactions. But as of now, just remember the material master is one of the critical master data for all the modules, not only for MM, but also for MM, SD, PP, even the financial information needs to be maintained. So whenever you are doing any transaction where the material movement is involved, you definitely need to provide the material master data for that particular tab. Okay, so if you want to use anything in sales, if you want a particular material to be used in sales, you have to extend the sales views. If you want to do any transactions related to purchase, you have to extend the purchase view. Similarly, warehouse management has its own views, APO has its own views.